our space utilization ratio is 2 to 1. Instead of providing 120 work tables, we just provide 60, so that each workstation, table and chair will be 60, but they have 120 employees. It means that at every point in time, you can have 60 people sitting down, but you have 120 employees. The other 60 people will be somewhere remote working. You can be working in different locations. There can be a lot of software engineering company do this, where like a company like Vodacom or Nokia solution, those that provide not the phone. There's Nokia solution that does back end, and sometimes you don't have to be in the office. Even MTN, so there's some server in MTN that don't have a particular office. Their office is in the head office, but they've never worked in the head office. Maybe they've only gone there maybe like 2 or 3 times in a year, but they work in different remote locations. In such offices, you don't need to provide them, because if you make provision for the table and chair for them, they're just wasting office space. You understand? Because they're always working. And working remote helps in such a way that it reduces the overhead cost for running a physical office. Consider the percentage of time this employee spends in the office. Normally, you need to give that consideration before making provision for that. Okay. A good idea may be to introduce where floor plans is flexible with movable furniture. When you have working remote, I like this concept, but you know it's very difficult to actually work remote. It's even more taxing, because when your office is going to working remotely, the measures to measure your performance is more stringent. Because Nigerians will just probably put on their laptop, connect to the server, and go and sleep. But if there are some activities that I've done it before, I've worked in an office where we do remote work. Once there's traffic and I know I cannot get there, I just call and say I'm not coming. And once I log in, whatever time you have worked on being on the cloud is measured, and you are paid like that. You are paid per hour for each time. So they just calculate your work time. If you are supposed to do 8 hours that day, if you do 6 hours, they'll pay you 6 hours. So normally, if you have to attend meetings, you can attend meeting online, like this kind of class that I'm doing now. You're supposed to be there. If you're not present, they will record that you're not there. So that time will be logged out. If you are not there at that point in time, they will also check if you are connected to another meeting. So there are some things you can do remotely. But once you are doing remotely, you are working remotely, you need to now work with the hoteling system and hot decks, which we are going to see. Special consideration solutions for specific uses, such as looking at these are breakout spaces, lunch rooms, break rooms, private meeting rooms, seeing the big picture. These areas like this in offices are what we call breakout spaces, informal spaces that you can use to still work or have meetings. But the spaces are not formal, not desks and table, not a meeting room. But you can just sit down here and have a short meeting with your colleague, or even just go relax while. And also sometimes you just go with your laptop or your system and continue work when you're tired of your general office space. Hot decks, okay. Okay. Okay, hoteling system. This is when each employee will always call in the morning or at the beginning of the week to book for their office space. That is, in the office, no table is allocated to anybody. If you know you want to come to the office, you will call the HR or you call the admin officer. Tunde, I'll be in the office today. I'll work for 3 hours. So we book you into a particular space for 3 hours. Maybe your 3 hours of your system there will shut down. It will log you off. And tell your guy, start going. Because somebody else will also might have booked for that same space that you're sitting down. If you want to use it for throughout the day, you book for it for 2, 3, 4 days or for one day. So you just log in. And it's so bad in some offices that they immediately they book you, your access card works with it. If they don't give you access, if you get to the office that day, the team will not allow you inside. It may allow you to get to the reception, but into the main office spaces, your card will not allow. There is staff of the office, but you allow. If it doesn't allow, so okay, you're not supposed to be here. What are you doing? Because you are not logged in. That was the basic principle of hoteling. You do that for office spaces, you do it for meeting rooms. If you have meetings, you have to book for the meeting rooms. You book ahead to ensure that you have that space. And most offices begin to do that. Because benefit of doing that, you have a saving cost for the commercial real estate. You don't need to have very big office, just small office. And creating opportunity for staff to mingle and collaborate more. Where if you have like 50 staff, so that you can move seats. You know that you are sitting here for beginning since you came to the office till you leave. That's where you are sitting. You don't even know the person that's sitting there. You can sit anywhere. You can meet with anybody. At any point in time. Okay. Hot desk system is a provision. It's also more, it's just like hoteling system, but it's also is a situation where you have provision in the office where people from other, maybe you have branches all over Nigeria and the head office is in Lagos. In your head office in Lagos, you make provision for hot desks. When any of the people come from outstation, you're able to have a desk to sit down to work. But that desk is not still allocated to them. It's like, oh, it's still like the hoteling system. You also need to call, if you are coming from outstation, you call the admin. I'm coming, the admin will not book into the hot desk. So that when you come, you just do your work. That's why it's called hot desk. You just do sharp. You don't need to stay too long and you leave. That's just a different opportunity. Other things you can read. For maybe a week or thereabout, and you don't want to use your office, your hotel room as the office. You feel that you want to really work in the space, I think you need to come and see. So you can use it. Telecommuting is just using teleconferencing or telecommunication for meetings and for gotten, and he was telling what us to do. He shared his computer screen with us. Wherever you are, you'll be seeing what he's saying and see that it works. That's just technology. So these are just simple things that can happen. You can have, that means you can really work from anywhere. But these are traditional systems. Sometimes if you don't have the person physically in the location, your boss will not be happy. Say you didn't come to work that day. So benefits of that allow workers greater freedom to regarding work hours and work locations. You can work on anywhere at work hours. Give employees flexibility to balance work and personal obligations. There are sometimes that you need to attend to some personal obligations. You need to attend to some personal things. You can go and do it. It doesn't affect your work. So far, you meet up with the normal 8 hours work per day, which is key. Open plan, we've talked about open plan space. I don't want to go back there. Advantage, you can read all this. These are you get the slides. The advantage of that. Breakout spaces, we've talked about it. Okay, move great. I want us to get here. Move management. Role of a facility manager and move management. One, in many organizations, office layout are subject to frequent changes. We've talked about this process is referred to as churn. We've talked about that. These moves are normally planned by the facility management department. Once there is any plan to move. The move is done by the facility management department. So that's why you need to understand what needs to be done, and you need to understand the step-by-step method that you need to do. Three things that are very key at when you are managing any form of move. One of the things that is key is that you must communicate. Communication is very key. 2, you must communicate. 3, you must communicate. Three things: 1, communicate; 2, communicate; 3, communicate. That's to tell you how important it is. Communication is very key in move management. Also, you must learn to use a move company. You must learn to use what? A move company. There are companies that's their core business, to move stuff from one point to the other. 3, you must ensure that the move company has goods in transit insurance. You must ensure that the move company has goods in transit insurance. Another important thing you must know during move is that you must ensure that everybody does is packing him or herself, especially if you are managing in an office. Ensure that they do their packing together, their packing of their stuff by themselves, because actually you are supposed to provide them with cartons to do their packing, to pack all the stuff that they have to do inside. So they do the packing into the cartons, they will have to label it themselves. Okay, let's now go. The facility manager plans the following. 1, the minimum amount of space to be provided per staff. We talked about that. Look at the fire safety arrangement. Remember these things I'm saying, we've talked about it. The lighting levels, ventilation and thermal control, welfare arrangements such as toilet and kitchens. Reason for move. You must be able to establish why the move is being done, the reason for it. 1, is it for expansion and growth? 2, is it to reduce costs? Maybe you are reducing the office size. 3, is it to consolidate the offices at different locations? 4, is it because the lease that you need to renewal has expired and you don't plan to renew it? Or you probably plan to get into new market, want to access new market. Maybe your office is somewhere in Yanokwaja and you feel that I need to get some customers in Ikeja. So you move your office from Yanokwaja to Ikeja. Then you need to reorganize, or you need a reorganization, or you need a better facility. Maybe the facility that you have is not good enough. At this point, you need something good. And sometimes you may need to improve your brand perspective, or sometimes perception, or sometimes you need to enhance your employees' morale. You need to boost their morale. Most of the times, most people don't do that. They don't care about their employees. They just do what they want. The employees can come later. Or upgrade technology. Sometimes you may need to upgrade technology. Maybe your work or your business is becoming more technologically driven, and you require more of internet connectivity. If you require that, there are some places in Lagos you can upsite your office because the network will naturally be bad. Why you have a lot of offices concentrated in the island is because of its network connectivity. It's not because of anything other they are shouting. The best place to even site your office is actually on Lagos Island, that Marina Stretch. That is the best. That's the best place ever. The next best place is Eko Atlantic. Victoria Island and Ikoyi, they are not. Those ones were residential before. Yeah, residential. Ikoyi was residential, not really for office. It's just now we are converting all those residential places to office. But the place that was designed as an office is that for office building and office activities is Marina Stretch. The whole of that Marina, that Lagos Island, Central Business District. They have the internet connectivity. You don't need to struggle. Once your office is there, just call them. Yeah, I need internet. Just they have their fiber optic cable. They just connect you straight. But they are beginning to make provisions in Victoria and Croatia. But the place now that they have done it already now is Eco Atlantic. Was for the big boys. Another reason why you need to know why they move one to be closer to clients or competitors. You must know this. You must generally just know the reason why you need to move. If you don't know the reason as a facility manager, then there's a problem. The next step, factors to consider when vetting office space. When you are going to look for a new office spaces, there are some factors you need to look at. One, you need to look at the power and the cooling system. One, power has to do with NEPA. How good is the power supply? Because you are in Nigeria, I need to know. The area, do they give them lights? Or you use generator 24/7? That also is a big consideration. You must always have that consideration when you are making or vetting a new office space. You need to know how that works. Two, the electrical system of the building. Yes, power is one thing, power supply. The electrical system of the building, you need to check the building. If peradventure you check the DP and you see that DP has burnt before, and they just run away from that building. Because when you get into that building, you end up changing the whole electrical system. Except you are bearing in mind when you get there, you discover, okay, we are going to change it. You like the place, everything, then you do need to change the electrical system. That means you are changing all the wiring and all that. Because once you have that kind of issue in the electrical system, you cannot resolve it until you change the wiring because you don't know the cables that have been used and who would have occupied or whatever they have done there before. Another thing you need to check out is the plumbing system. This is one of the most dangerous things in new buildings. Once there is leakage in the building and you can see it physically before you move into the building, please run. Because most often than not, you may not be able to resolve that leakage for the lifetime you are going to be in that building.
So, sir, in a nutshell, if somebody wants to go and bed for office, one has to go with, like a person has to go with a team, like the electrician and the plumber. At least when he's looking at when he's getting those items, those members of the team can actually see more.
You can say more, yes. That's because if you are not experienced enough. If someone like me now goes to get a new office, I don't need to go with a plumber or a electrician because I've been doing this for years. So
like somebody like just starting out.
Yes, somebody else. You must. For the fact that I'm not going does not mean that those people are not important. It's just because somehow I'm subduing their function into myself. You understand? Ideally, I'm supposed to go with those people. You go with those technicians, they will go and help you check and they will advise you. Then sometimes, apart from going with the technicians, you have consultants, consultant electrical engineer, consultant mechanical engineer, let them go with you. Because the consultants will see more than the technicians. The technicians will only look at the physical items, they may not be able to know the cause of the problem. But the consultant may see a problem and know whether the problem is severe or is just minor. But the technician may not be able to advise you. They just say, okay, there's problem, except the technician is experienced. That's when they will know. But you must have those people to go with you. Another one is the waste disposal system. Waste disposal system are twofold. One, your normal office waste, paper, food, and all these ones. That's one waste. Then the other one, the sewage waste. You don't want to go into an office that every 2 weeks you'll be coming to suck out the secondary. You know, there's some offices like that. Once you went there, you will not know. By the time you start using the place, you not discover the septic tank gets filled up every 2 weeks. And just know that you have entered problem. Because probably you'd have paid for like 3 years So for the next 3 years, every two weeks, you'll be coming to evacuate the septic tank. That means the only way to solve that problem is for you to now look for a way to build a new one. I'll see what the problem with the septic tank is. It's very one why these things are reaching is because it's very important. Those are places where you can spend money that you did not plan for. Sufficient physical space, of course, I've talked about that one. Make sure that the place is spacious. Then communication service providers, I've talked about that one. When I was talking about marina access and all that, you look at those, that's very important for especially for companies that require that connectivity. You need to do that. That one is also wireless connectivity. That you don't need that one so much now because it's easier now. You can easily just set up your wireless connectivity. Phone and computer cabling. Those ones are not as important as now because your systems can connect wirelessly. You can just do a small router and now the systems will connect. But for companies that have high data security, they don't do wireless. They do cable because it's more secure. Cable is still more secure than wireless. Anybody can hack into a wireless network, but cable is difficult. Then IP-based security. IP-based security is when you are using your IP-based camera and your system cameras that have IP addresses that you can log on from anywhere. But sometimes, most of the time, these IP-based securities are done by the local companies themselves. So you can have control for security. But sometimes you may have offices that have it already done for grade A offices. You'll have CCTV cameras for the general areas, but for your internal offices, you need to make mention of that. Planning steps. 1, define your reasons for the move. I've talked about that. You need to always define it. You must know why you want to move. 2, get a checklist. We'll see an example of a checklist. 3, know your key dates. We'll see that also. Set a budget that you need to provide. You need to also brief the property agent. 6, book your office removal company. That's your office movers company that I talked about. 7, plan your new office design and space plan. 8, plan your IT relocation. IT relocation is very important because for offices that have IT as a backbone, you cannot tamper with the IT. In fact, that will be the last thing you move. Because if you tamper with it, you grant the whole company operations. So that normally will be the last thing you move. Finalize your office lease. And there's what we call dilapidation stroke reinstatement. Reinstatement of dilapidation has to do with by the time you are leaving that property, normally there's a clause that is attached to it that return it to how you met it. That is very important because sometimes you think it's just there for my mind, or you may not know how important it is until you meet a wicked landlord or landlady. That after spending 5 years in the place, you have changed all the doors, changed the toilet, changed the tiles to a better one. And the person just say, oh, you are leaving. Say, okay, no problem. Just restore my building the way you made it that time. Meanwhile, you have thrown away the tiles, you have broken it, the doors, you have thrown it away, you have even sold it. I said, okay, this one I put there is better than the one I made there. So I don't care. Give me my building the way it was one. Then you know you have a big problem. When you see somebody talking like that, you know what the person wants? Money. So you just say, okay, no problem. How much will it cost you to do it? Okay, I don't have time to do it. They will not give you a pay charge. You pay.
Sorry. But normally when somebody is like somebody wants to move into an apartment, at least there should be an agreement contract. All this should be stated right there that okay, fine, if you need to replace or remove anything, you should let the owner of the property be aware.
You think the owner will not be aware?
Even after all that.
It's there now. That's what they always put in the statement and this thing inside the contract.
So at the end of the day, press might will come back and say
why in the contract lease agreement? Have you seen a lease agreement before? You will see it now. You will see it there. You inform the owner before anything is done. You will inform the owner. Then you also see this one. You will restore back to the former position where you are living.
I've not seen this part, but I've seen it first.
Ah, no, you have not seen this agreement. That one is a fake lease agreement. This one is always there. It's always there because in case you damage anything, they tell you to fix it now. Some people just do what they do. What they now do replace it or they put caution fee.
Okay.
So charge up to like 300,000, and just for a stain on the wall, you might not
you just
get
put caution
the
fee.
300.
They just tell you that okay, when you enter this place, you painted it. Please paint it before you leave. You will keep painting. I'm telling you, you just keep painting that building. You will never ever be able to finish painting just because they don't want to give you back your caution fee. The only thing you now do is just discuss with the person. Okay, how much will this painting cost? Out of that caution fee, just take 100,000. Give me the balance. So that one is when you have understanding. Because there's some people that are wicked like that. Yeah? So those things are always there, but you need to always take care of those things. Whether where you are going to or where you are coming from. But most of the times, if you have improved the space, the people most of the times will not even touch it when you leave, but they have collected your money. Managing office move challenges. One, allow plenty of time. Manage and guide staff through the office move. Play with everyone's strength. Be prepared for disruptions. You must really have plenty of time, especially at the beginning, to ensure that you can communicate properly to the people that are using the office, both where you are and where they are going. You must ensure you take them to the new office location. It is very important. Why? Because no matter how you inform them, when the move is done, some of them will still go to the old office. It's not funny, it has happened to me. I'm telling you the truth. Not because I moved office, not because I did move, I changed office. The day I was to resume in my new office, I was driving to the office and I was driving to the old office. Because when I was almost close, when I wanted to park, I'm not supposed to be here. After the gateman has greeted me, everybody has greeted me. I entered car back and just reversed. So then going to where I was supposed to resume. It's not because of anything, it's because our brain are wired like that. So you need to, that's why I said communicate. So people it gets into their head. So by the time they are moving, they know that they are going to a new location. Prepare a new location. One, create a new office plan. We've talked about that and layout. This is where your move committee will be really helpful. All these are things that we need to do. It's always difficult to move into a new space, but when you have figured out where everything or everyone goes, it makes things a lot easier. When you actually have all the things well planned out, especially when you go to a new location, have a layout plan, and then allocate people's spaces by name, by plan. If it's possible, write the name and stick it on the decks. So when they get to the office, you don't go and be fighting. You just go where you see your name is your office, your table, you go and sit down there. So you don't go and be fighting. After all, before you were employed in the office, when you came, you didn't select where you're going to sit down. Make sure you know where every piece of furniture will be placed and every employee will sit. You need to know that detail. The more detailed plan, the better. Like I've said, make sure you put their names there. Ensure that everybody takes out time. Take the time to plan effectively. One way you can make the office more efficient is to minimize the amount of time that the office moves takes. So that means you must do more planning before the actual move. Most of the times, once you are doing that move, it should not take more than maximum 2 days. That's why you must hire a move company that has the capability to do it, except you have your move that will happen on different floors. But each floor, you must make sure that each floor is not take more than 2 days, because the longer it takes, the more dangerous it becomes. the two spaces will be exposed to theft and different. Because immediately you start packing, if you don't finish that day, you make that place accessible to people to come and start. Even these people that will steal is not even the people that you don't know, it's your security people. Because they will be there, they will just come and comb the place after you guys have gone. After all, they have packed now. The thing that they have not, they don't need, they will just carry it. Not that you don't need it, but because they don't know that you don't need it, they just carry it. Save time, ensure that you familiarize yourself with the new office location. That's very key for you as a FM. You must also try and make sure the people are familiarized with the new location. Understand the exact dimension of the new rooms that you get from the plan, and when you familiarize yourself with the plan, so you know the square meters of each space. And we call the difference in shapes and the form of each room, especially for offices where you have managers. Have the difference. If you are moving somebody from one office to another new office, especially if it's Oga, know the square meters and know the difference between their old office and the new office. Because they will ask you, they tell you that this office you are bringing me is smaller than where I'm coming from. Oga, why? And they start fighting you. So why is that person's office bigger than my own? Is it more important than me in this company? Well, meanwhile, all of them would have signed the plan and all that. So you need to make sure that thing happens. Make sure your old desks, your old and new desks, chairs, filing cabinets, etc. will be accommodated. If it's not going to be accommodated, look for where to keep them. If you're moving to a new location and all your furniture is not going to enter that new location, you know you have a problem, because the new problem you have is storage, where to keep the old furniture and how long you will need to keep the furniture. Because you need a decision to be taken immediately. The better way you plan, when you plan in such a manner that when the furnitures are too much, before they move themselves, know exactly what you want to do with it. Because if you don't know what to do with it, the furniture will just be there occupying space in the new location and not doing anything. I don't know if you understand. So you either want to sell those furniture or you destroy the furniture if you don't want to sell them. Ensure everyone involved knows their new dimensions, knows the size of their offices, know what they are doing. Create a floor plan before the move, before the office move. That one is given. Make sure that every employee receives a copy of that plan. And not just receiving a copy of the plan, their names must be put on each of the spaces that they are going to be. So if they want to start fighting, let them fight you with the plan before you go to fiscal. Communication during the office move to everyone. Give clear instructions where each piece of furniture needs to be positioned. It is your job to do that. Ensure, the easier and the more understandable you make the office move to the mover. Ensure that this happens by, if you know the office mover, before they start moving, one of the things you must do is that you must take them to the new location, show them the location, and then bring the plan and show them the plan where everything is going to be. So by the time that move happens, they know exactly where things are going to be and don't leave all the work for you. If you go and employ a mover and you don't tell them, they are not familiar with the new location, what they will just do is that they'll just move your stuff from the old place to the new place and just dump it outside. So you now need another set of people to now start arranging it for you. I don't know if you understand. So it means the move company, you must ensure that they know where they are moving it and you give them an exact point where they are putting them. The role of supervisors during the office move, ensure that staffs follow the instructions during the office move, create an office move guide, make sure every member of staff receive one. Let them know where everything are. Let them know where the toilet is. Let them know where the kitchen is. If you are doing it, if the toilet that you have in the new location is different from the one that you have in the old location, please take out time to teach them how to use the toilet. It may sound very funny, but I've done an office where when they moved to the new office, it was a big problem. The toilet they were using was a former typhoid that you just side flush. The one that you now have now is the one that you press the one on the wall. There was problem. Oh. You were looking for how to flush toilet. You don't know how to flush toilet. I thought that they knew. After the first week, the whole toilet that they put there have scattered. The other one was the wash hand basin. The way they're coming from, they use the normal one, you just roll it. This one, you don't have where to roll water. You just sensor, you put your hand, water will come. You move your hand, water stops. It became a toy. It will just go. It's funny, but it's the truth. Even you now, whether you finish reading, you will see where to press to flush. When you are going, as you turn your back, still will flush itself. Because it has sensor. Even this Venetian blinds, all this type. The other one, not this really one. Some people are not that at that time they didn't know what it was. They even not even till now, some people don't know how to operate it. You need to teach them, they just destroy everything. If especially if they have not been using it before. Employees' responsibility during an office move. Make sure the employees are responsible for packing their own content items before the actual move. I mentioned that give them cartons, let them pack it up, seal it up, and label it. Lose items during an office park. Items inside the bookcase, shelf, desks, wall units, or cups, or such different. Just put them inside the carton and just label them accordingly. Filing cabinets, make sure you probably empty them if you don't have padlocks, so that they can be packed properly. And for the ones that you can lock, you just lock them up and secure them, fasten them very well so that they are properly done. And use heavy tape to tape it and pack it properly so that it doesn't fall out. Prepare the decks, varying decks for an office move. Ensure that all the content are packed, especially when you are looking at for chief executives, when you want to handle their offices. Please ensure if the chief executive will not pack themselves, but sometimes they have secretaries or they have PAs. Please ensure that their PAs or their secretaries do the packing. Don't ever do it yourself. In fact, as much as possible, ensure that the only thing you pack is your own item. Because if anything goes missing, they hold you responsible. It must be as little as a pen.
But in this case, if they pack those things, they are probably packed in a box or carton and they precisely a part of the move agent really want to pick it up into the car and take it over.
Once they pack it into the box, they will seal it up and write their names. When that is done, your work is finished now. It's a move coming that will come and carry the box and take it to the office and just put it on their table. The same way they will come and unpack it themselves. Once it's done like that, you don't have a problem. You can read all this to yourself. Moving you have to disconnect. You need to disconnect them. Dismantle them. Things like television or computer sets, you disconnect them and then pack it properly. When you use a move company to do that, it's much easy. You will understand exactly how when you see them packing these things, you know that it was better you hire them because they have systems of packing there and ensure they don't get bad when it gets to the new place. Especially for those that don't have cartons, they provide cartons. Sometimes they provide blankets for screens like this or for breakables, and they wrap it very well. In fact, if you see them working, you'll be shocked. Especially if you have not used them before. Office move checklist. 1. This is just an example of a checklist. Decks empty, you tick. You are going to have this slide so that maybe the day you are doing this move, you know how really relevant this thing is. You just prepare it on the small paper, so you just be ticking. Supply cabinet cleared, tick. Fire cabinet cleared, tick. Fire drawers locked, tick. Wall items taken down, tick. You just come, once it's wall item, you look at, maybe we are clearing out of this place. You check all the things that are there. Do the wall items, everything that you think you need. And then be taken down. If it's yes, tick. If it's not, you wait till everything is done. Do not move tag in place. That one, you prepare a tag where you have things that do not move. You just tag it so that in case you're not there, somebody else does not become overzealous and go and move it. You know, you are parking for some place. Maybe this light now you're not supposed to remove it. Some people will just come, they're overzealous. This light, you need to park them. I won't get out. And they go and take it out. And meanwhile, you know that you're supposed to leave it, you know. These things you can, these are things you can just figure by yourself. Make sure electrical works, electricity works, you check. Make sure the bathroom works, you check all those things. Employ professional who have told you this. This is what they do. They are conscious and just how to set logistics. Just employ a professional mover. You can't do it yourself. Don't go and hire a truck and hire a Hausa to come and move the thing for you. You'll be in trouble. Oh. Please, employ professional movers. No matter how expensive it is, pay them. It's true, no? Because apart from that, also by the time that they will, apart from the fact that they can destroy the things you are supposed to, yes, they may not be able, and the risk is on you. Anything they destroy, also will not pay. But if you take a remote company, if something is destroyed, they will pay. I don't know if you understand. Office move plan. Sorry. 6 weeks plan. Now we're looking at this was at least you can read yourself, but let's just go. Let's jump to what's the time? To I think a week. And now a week. That's good. But you can read all this yourself. Let me jump to where you have a week. 4 weeks prior to plan. This is 6 weeks to the move. Meet with IT department, discuss time critical components of moving. Yes, assign move coordinators. If it's a very large office, you need to assign move coordinators in each department. Those will be in charge so that you won't be the one running around like a mad dog when the day comes. Those move coordinators are your soldiers, are the ones that will handle their different departments and make sure that they are moving. Schedule standing weekly meetings to assign for each coordinator so you can abreast them of what is going on. You'll be the one that you carry from the old office to the new office from time to time to go and be checking their departments if it's ready and what is required. Schedule kickoff meetings, advise landlord on original decision, all those things, just do all those writings. 4 weeks, finalize the move schedule, review schedule and responsibilities, create exploration move package instructions, prepare the agenda. You can read all this yourself. Yes, move week. Move week, confirm all building reservations. Conduct supervision or orientation with meetings. Yes, you need to carry all the different supervisors to the place and do orientation. If there are new systems that are being employed in the new office, you need to teach them or tell them what the new systems are. So when they get to the new place, they don't begin to form Mugu for the first 1 week. Yes, they will still do that. But it's just that by the time you educate them, at least they will know some basic things that they need to do. So the other important thing that I need to mention, so I don't forget now, is that it's not in the slide. There are two things. One, inform the security personnel of the move. The security personnel in the old office and in the new office. Then two, also inform the police. The information you are giving to police, please go there with a bottle of wine to see the deep way. I'm serious. If not, the day they are moving, it will frustrate your effort. They'll just stop the truck and they tell they want to check everything. They should produce receipts. A police caught you on the road before. They tell you to produce receipts for your phone. Then you will become very foolish. You'll be asking the police, okay, how will I get the receipt of this phone? Then they will tell you then it's a stolen property. Then you now know that the police is wicked. Because you know that you cannot produce the receipt of your phone. So if you are packing that kind of thing, they tell you to produce the receipt. You just stop the truck and they will call you, the move company will call you. Okay, just stop us, so you know that you're in problem. But if you have gone to see the DPO with a bottle of wine, he will give you his number. So if they stop you, just call DPO. DPO will call his boss. And those guys will give you salute.
So in case of like move from one state to another,
the same thing. You will know now, you know, by the time you go to the new, by the time, from where you are moving from to the new state, you just, once you make contact with the DPO of where you are going to, he knows what is happening in that state. They know themselves. Yeah, especially if you settle the DPO very well. Forget once you are moving. If they stop you, call that DPO. You'll be shocked. The person that is on that place that is stopping you, they will call the person. Okay, leave that motor now.
Well, once it is a new company that is I think they should be like that.
Provision, Abi, for it. I beg you in the name of God, when you are doing it, don't do it. Don't deceive it, people. Maybe God will have mercy on you. The move company will not do it. Yes, sometimes they may have that leeway of trying to have, because they do it regularly, they may know one or two contacts, but it is better that you cover it yourself. Then also, if you're discovering people in the new place, if they are bulky, please tell them that you are moving, because that day that you are moving, so you don't go and pray and lock people outside. It may look funny, but it's important. It can just embarrass you. Then each time you are going to visit the new location, please be nice to the security people, but the people that are guiding the place. Buy them Coke, 100 naira. Solo, that Coke solo.
Yeah.
Just buy them and give to them. Don't be stingy. Because that day of the move, you will know how important they are. They will help you.
Yeah.
If not, they will frustrate your movement. And you get a query if you are not even fired. Because 100 naira and you refuse to spend. It's funny. This thing I'm saying is funny. But I've experienced it. I've seen it work like magic. They are the ones that will give you information that you don't even not talk about. They know the area, they know how things move. They can even call you if they know that it's dangerous for you to move that period. They'll call you and say, okay, I'm not pack today. Things happen for area. Because of 100 naira. Coke that you have bought. Please make sure you do that. Then apart from that one, then you need to also, from time to time, you need to communicate with your people in the office. If it's possible, arrange a tour. Not a call tour.
Yes.
Departmental tour. Hire a boss. Let them go and see the place. Somewhere, so why? No need. Okay, don't listen. If you cannot hire a boss, schedule with the departmental heads, beg them so they should come and look at the new location. Use for any way to treat them to make sure they get there. So that they know and see the place. So the day they are moving, after they have moved, if you are moving on the weekend, so they don't resume on Monday and they begin to abuse you. Because some of them are going to go to the new office, to the old office. They will park and go to the office and be looking for the office. And they will call you and be abusing you that, well, you didn't tell us we were moving. But there was a circular that everybody knew they were moving. How come everybody is in the office, only that is in the old office? It has happened to me before. Enterprise Bank, they were moving location. We did the move, did everything. The head of IT, he was the one that signed the paper. Because we moved the server room. He traveled. He resumed back to his old office. And he was calling me. Oga, where is my office? I don't work in Enterprise Bank. I'm only a consultant and a contractor. Why are you asking me where is your office? Oga, you don't know that I'm moving. And we know. Why did you not tell me about the date? Oga, you signed the date. From where I was talking in the new location, I sent him a mail of his signature, a copy of what he signed, which I sent it back to him. He said, hey, I signed it. So what? I came to the new office and I was angry that I went to the old office. Is it me that took you to the office? No, it is you that carry yourself there. Those things happen. So you must make sure you always carry them around.
probably in that situation, even after taking them, you can still send reminder in that.
Yes, that's the essence. You send reminder. Even in that morning, like 6 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Send, even don't send WhatsApp or send text message. Your new office is in so address. So they go. Move day. You can arrange those ones as you arrange the coordinator storage, you need the destination. Now there's another thing that we must do, apart from all that, we must have a directory of all the items that are being moved, both from the old location and the new location. You can see it's a detailed thing that you need to do. All the items, even if you have boxes, you have 50 boxes, itemize all the boxes. With the color, if you are coding the colors, you will code it and itemize it. You know what you're going to do? When they are leaving the old location, you'll be taking it. Then in the new location, you think that they move from here. So you have to know how to move yourself or have people that will move in between. So the one that are moving from, maybe you finish ticking and that truck is moving, you send it to the new location. When they get there, they will receive it. As they're receiving their marking, you must have that directory. It's very important. So you can track things that are moving. After the move, you something must look. Let's manage inquiry from staff. You need to ask staff questions in case they have any issues. They will raise issues. Of course, they will have. Make list of items required attention. For the first 1 week after the move, from that day, just get a dossier, like a register. They will ask different questions. Please just write it. Don't assume that you know the answer. Just write the questions down so that you can attend to it one after the other. The other thing you need to do is survey any potential property damage to the space or your asset. You know, by the time you move, there's some things that will get bad. Check, take record of it. Schedule follow-up crew for post-move activity. Post-move activity, you need to, after they have moved, you need to go to the old location to comb everywhere and check again in case they forgot something or they left something critical or they damaged something, so you can take note of those things and be able to fix them. That is the main thing that you need to do. Thank you very much. So I'll take questions now. I know I've been taking questions while we're talking, so do you still have further questions? Where you think there are issues that we need to clarify before we go? The assessments and questions. Okay, you have the slide already. Okay, great. So you can go through. You probably at the inside your slide you see assessment there. You answer the questions. Read through the slides. Read through everything properly. Once you read through, you won't have any issues, and then you'll be able to. So I'll take it. There are no quick questions. I'll say thank you very much for coming. I hope with this few points of mine, I've not been able to convince you, but I've been able to convince you that space planning and move management is very good thing that you need to know. I'm an architect. I'm an architect that has worked in a facility management firm, so I'm very advanced in facility a lot, and also I'm into construction and corporate architecture. So space utilization, space planning, I do it a lot. So thank you very much.